Welcome back to the podcast. I'm so glad you're here. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and share this episode with someone who needs it. Today, we are talking all about traveling, specifically a beach vacation, and how to stay on track or at least in control while enjoying yourself. I am currently in a cut, shredding right along with my shredders. So I had to be very intentional with this trip. So, first off, what I did was I took a look at the actual length of the vacation. Our flight didn't leave until around 8 o'clock at night. So we decided to go to dinner in our hometown. It was a girls' trip, dinner before we left. And we picked a sushi place, a samurai sushi place. And what I did there was I pre-tracked sashimi in an alcoholic beverage. I also knew that we were only going to be on vacation for 2 full days with a travel day on either end. So, worst case scenario, it was just 2 days where I might go over my calories. And remember, I'm in a cut, so I don't always track on vacation. But this time around, I did. Then I knew my friend had said she wanted to have a drink at the airport before we got on the plane because it helps her nerves. So I pre-tracked that as well. At dinner, we also decided to put in a Walmart delivery order so it would arrive the next morning in Florida. And on that order, we had Greek yogurt, blueberries, strawberries, honey beef sticks, which were about 90 calories, tuna pouches, and carving board meat, ham and turkey. And of course, we ordered legendary protein chips. My plan was for those to be my main staples. We did order some additional snacks, but those were going to be my go-to protein foods. I also packed for myself. Target actually has new protein chips, and I brought a chomp stick right in my bag because I knew I would probably get back to the hotel that night and be hungry, and our delivery order would not be there. Another thing I did was pack my Owala so I could have my water with me at all times. It's very important to me to stay hydrated and to drink water in between any alcoholic drinks. So the next morning, after we arrived and got a good night's sleep, I got up and I went to the gym. I hopped right on the treadmill and I had a nice long walk. And then we went to get coffee. We walked to coffee. So anytime there's an opportunity to walk on vacation, I take it. And that's what I encourage you to do as well. So we came back and decided to go to the pool. We had rented a cabana, so I knew going into this vacation that there would be more drinks than normal. Definitely more than when I'm with my family because this was a girls' weekend. So each day I had pre-tracked 5 to 6 drinks, knowing it would spread out throughout the day. I had 2 drinks in the cabana. Those were already pre-tracked, so I felt good about them. For breakfast, there was the option because we had our groceries delivered of Greek yogurt and berries. But I actually ended up pushing back my breakfast and having a chomp stick and 2 tuna pouches. And I felt completely fine. Those were easy to eat in the cabana. When we went back in the afternoon before getting ready for dinner, I made sure to have a chomp stick or a tuna pouch before heading to dinner. We had already decided on dinner ahead of time. I love seafood, and we were right on the ocean, which makes it very easy. I just always ask for grilled seafood. At the first dinner we went to, I ended up getting a salad and asked for double protein. So I got double tuna. It was delicious. I didn't care for the dressing. So I dipped my fork tines in it to try it. I didn't like it, and then I didn't use it. And the salad was fine. I actually did not need any dressing. I used salt and pepper, and it was super yummy. I had a drink there, and that was also pre-tracked. I think you're hearing a common theme here, pre-tracked. Another thing I do on vacation is choose drinks that are easy to track, usually something in a can or a bottle. Right now, I'm loving spiked seltzer, such as High Noon. So that's what I had. My second choice, if they don't have that is vodka water with a couple of limes, which I think I did end up having at the airport before we left. But easier to track when they are in a can or bottle because you don't know how heavy the pour is when it's wine or vodka or bourbon, whatever it may be. So then we decided to leave and go to another bar, and I ended up having 1.5 drinks there. That's another thing. Even though drinks are expensive on vacation, that doesn't mean that you have to finish them if you have goals. You don't need to be sucking it down before your Uber arrives. You don't have to be sucking it down before you leave. 1.5 was plenty. Then we went back to the room for the night. And unfortunately, in our Walmart order, my protein bars, which were going to be my chocolate treat, and my popcorn were unavailable. This actually made me realize something. Popcorn and chocolate are my way to wind down when I'm on vacation, when I'm with my family, because sometimes vacation with a family is go, go, go. But when I'm with my girlfriends, winding down is just sitting and chatting and laughing and being with them. And I had a sparkling water, and I could have had a nightcap if I wanted to, but a sparkling water did the trick. So it made me really realize that I don't actually need the popcorn or the chocolate. I wasn't hungry because I had double protein at dinner. So it's more of a habit when I've had a full day with my kids. It's my treat on vacation to sit in bed and eat at the hotel or the resort. So this was really eye-opening for me. Something I thought I needed, I didn't. So the next day I got up early. My body just won't let me sleep in even on vacation. I don't know if you are that way, but so I think I was up around 5:30 a.m. I decided to go for a run on the beach. The beach was there. It was windy, so I had great resistance. I wanted to do something different, and I like to clear my head and get my thoughts set for the day. And this was the perfect way to do it. I think I ran about 5 miles on the beach, and on the way back, it was crazy because of the wind. So I was getting my steps in, moving my body early in the day, setting myself up for success. That way, if the day brought a lot of lying around, which it was a girls' trip by the pool and by the ocean, I knew I had already gotten my steps in. Unfortunately, the second day was a little cooler and overcast, so we ended up hanging out in the jacuzzi. But first, we really took our time in the morning. I like to push my breakfast back when I'm on vacation because you just have that time in the morning to drink your coffee, chat, enjoy the ocean, enjoy your surroundings. So when I push my breakfast back, I have more room towards the end of the day for more fun foods, and I have more calories left. Being on vacation, that's typically when I consume more of my calories is in the evening. So another thing I did to pre-track for dinner was create a custom entry in my tracker. I use my Macros Plus, and when you open the food menu at the bottom, it's called custom entry. And I created a block called dinner block, and I set it for 600 calories. So that was already pre-tracked for the day. And then when I had my actual dinner, I put the actual macros in. On my Macros Plus, I do have the pro version, so you can actually just take a picture of your plate and it will do the macros for you. I also put in my drinks, right, as I said, and then I could deduct as needed. I put in more drinks than I thought I may have. And like I said, it's very different drinking from noon until midnight. You really have to space them out. One of the other things I do is with the Walmart order, I get sparkling water. Just say, for instance, I get black cherry sparkling water and I'll mix it with a black cherry high noon. So it will last longer, less calories. I put it in my Awala or my Yeti so I can sip on that. It's fewer calories, half the calories, and it lasts so much longer. So we went to the jacuzzi, we enjoyed our time there, and then had lunch again in our room. I had a tuna pouch, a beef stick, and legendary chips, and that was my lunch. Once again, we went out to dinner and I had a beef jerky, a beef chomps before we left because one of my rules is never to go to dinner too hungry. This time I focused on veggies and protein. The other options were fries or baked potato, no, fries or mashed potatoes. So I decided to ask for double veggies. That's another one of my hacks. You don't have to get, the two different sides. You can ask for double veggies. So I got double veggies and then I got triple protein. So I got shrimp, mahi mahi, and I think it was snapper or grouper. I can't remember which one I got grilled. I had plenty and I ended up not being as hungry as I thought. That's another tip. Eat until enough, not until full. Because if you eat until full, you are too full. Your brain has not had time to catch up with your belly. And just because you paid for it doesn't mean you have to clear your plate. I really paid attention to that on this trip and I was proud of myself. I ate until enough, not until full. I was with my sister on this trip. She was still hungry, so she finished the rest of my protein and it all worked out. I had pre-tracked my drink there, a spiked seltzer, and then we went back to the hotel. Once again, I just chatted with my girlfriends, had a sparkling water, and didn't feel the need to snack. I was full from the protein, and the downtime was just being with them. I didn't need to snack on my popcorn and chocolate, realizing that this was a habit. So that was that day. Then the following day we left. That morning I got up and did a workout with my sister. It was her 15 minutes train with Kate. She does have a virtual option. So we used the app, we did it together, and then we went for a walk on the beach. It was just so nice to have that one-on-one time with her, just talking about our kids, our businesses, our workouts, our husbands, and really enjoying that time together. Again, I made sure to have water with me and stay hydrated on our walk. I had pre-tracked a tuna pouch and a beef stick and put them in my bag because I knew I would be hungry um, just getting to the airport and at the airport. So I ate that in the morning. Once we arrived at the airport, we had the option for Qdoba before boarding. I did a lettuce base with double chicken and double fajita veggies. I ate half, again, paying attention to having enough, not full, and took the rest on the plane. And I had a carbonated, yummy tasting Diet Coke with it. Something about a Diet Coke every now and again just hits. When I got home, my husband had protein and a veggie ready for me, and that was my day. I did take the rest of Qdoba on the plane and I finished it maybe an hour before landing, and I was completely satisfied. So Ron had protein and veggie ready for me when I got home. I came home, I was not bloated. I came home feeling lighter. I actually saw the lowest number on the scale throughout my entire cut because I went in with a plan. I pre tracked and I knew I had done the very best that I could. And that felt super empowering. So I hope my story is helpful. I want you to take these strategies, copy them, and implement them into your next vacation. Move your body, focus on protein, have groceries delivered, pre-track when you can. My priorities were time with my girls, enjoying some drinks, getting in the sun, and hitting my protein. I realized I didn't need the chocolate or the popcorn. That was very eye-opening. I went in with a plan, and I encourage you to do the same. If this was helpful, be sure to share this episode with someone who has a vacation coming up. And as always, you're doing better than you think you are. See you next time.